Do you remember last year I asked you to imagine what a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade comprehensive middle school would look like here at CVCA? Well, I sit here today in the middle school wing seeing what God has done, and it's time to take the next steps. So now I'm going to ask you to imagine even more as we launch the Excel Still More campaign to take those next steps in our strategic plan. So imagine the blue gym, the small gym, the original gym here at CVCA turning into renovated fine arts space and classrooms. A choir room, a band room, and 2 new classrooms where more educating and cultivating servants of Christ can happen in real and deeper ways here at CVCA. I sit here in Antel Chapel with empty seats all around me. If you would come during a chapel service during school, there would be no place to go with no empty seats. So now I ask you to imagine, what would it look like if there were 200 more seats here in the Antel Chapel? What would it look like with new lighting and a new stage? How could we educate and cultivate even more here at CVCA as we renovate the Antel Chapel? Now I ask you to imagine in the space behind me, what could God do with a 3-court field house with a track around it? What can that do for our families to have practice right after school? What can that do for our sports teams that can practice more in the off season and more time during the season? What could that mean for all Northeast Ohio to have a big facility where feeder schools, local churches, and youth groups can come to our campus and be educated and cultivated as servants for Christ? As God continues to grow His school, I ask you to imagine what it would look like if we had more resources for more families and more accessibility for sons and daughters to experience what God has for them here at CVCA. Accessibility has always been and will be important for God's people here at CVCA. So now that I've introduced Excel Still More, I ask you to engage with us. And please, please pray. See how God might move in your heart that you might be a part of what God's doing here at His school, CVCA. We are called to excel still more.